What's up guys, this is Vi and today I'm going to show you how to create this amazing certificate in Photoshop. So without wasting any single moment, let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to just go to File and New, and I'm going to create a document of width 1100 and height of 1450, and I'll keep the resolution at 300. So one pro tip, if you're gonna print this certificate, choose CMYK or else just keep it at RGB. Cool. Okay, so now I'm gonna create some shapes at the bottom and at the side and right there. So if you are okay with creating shape, I'm gonna show you how to create in just a moment. But if you are not okay with creating shapes in Photoshop or you don't know how to create, so I will link my PNGs that I create in this tutorial and the thing that I created for this one in the description, so make sure to check that out as well. So to create the shape, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab my pen tool and make sure it's set on path and choose this pen tool. Okay, cool. And I'm gonna create my shape. Okay, that looks good. I'm gonna just merge it off. Cool. And I'm gonna click on selection, feather radius to 1, and make sure this option is checked. I'm gonna hit in OK, and I'm gonna create a new layer, and I'm gonna press Alt plus backspace, and this will just fill it with the foreground color, that's black in my case. So now I'm gonna just rename this to shape bottom 001. Cool. So now I'm gonna just create a new shape layer for this area. Okay, cool. Just merge it, repeat the same steps, click on selection. Okay, and I'm gonna create a new layer, and I'm gonna press Alt plus backspace to fill in with my foreground color. Cool. Now I'm gonna double click and rename it to shape side 001. Cool. Okay, now I'm gonna just grab my rectangular marquee tool and create a new layer. I'm gonna rename this to shape side 002. Cool. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a nice selection like that. Cool. I'm gonna press Alt plus backspace to fill in with black, that's my foreground color. Okay, I'm gonna grab this tool and I'm gonna just rotate it like so, and I'm gonna place it somewhere around there. Yep, that looks good. Okay, let's rotate it a little more. Okay, that looks fine. Cool. I'm gonna just duplicate it and I'm gonna place it like so. Cool. I'm gonna duplicate it one more time. I'm gonna place it like so. Cool. So I'm gonna just select this topmost layer and select the last layer of this pattern, the design, and holding the shift key I'm gonna click here. This will select all the layers in between. I'm gonna press Ctrl plus G to make a group, and I'm gonna rename this to side. Cool. Okay, so time to make this look interesting. So I'm gonna select this layer, go to FX and gradient overlay, and now I'm gonna click in here and I'm gonna select a nice dark color, something like that. Cool. And I'm gonna select the end color. Let's see. No. Okay, that looks good. Cool. I'm gonna hit in OK, and the angle I'm gonna choose something like that. Okay, I'm gonna increase the scale value and just experiment with the reverse option. I'm gonna leave it at unchecked Okay, so while this window is open, you can just drag your mouse here and click and drag to like set the color effect right there. Okay, I'm gonna decrease the opacity a touch. That's good. I'm gonna decrease the scale just a touch. Cool. I'm gonna hit in OK, and I'm gonna just go ahead and right click there and copy layer style. I'm gonna paste it here. Paste layer style. This looks good, but I'm gonna just arrange it a bit. Okay, I'm gonna just change the angle. Let's see. Okay, that looks good. I'm gonna hit in OK. Cool. And now I'm gonna go to the side, that is this thing. I'm gonna go to the FX and color overlay. I'm gonna select a bluish tone like that. Cool. Okay, so I'm gonna apply a drop shadow effect so that it looks 3D. I'm gonna go to effects and drop shadow. Cool. I'm gonna increase the distance and change the angle a bit, increase the size like so, increase the spread and decrease the opacity. Cool. Just decrease the distance and change the angle a touch. Cool. This looks way better. Cool. So if I just go here and click on effects and drop shadow. Okay, so if I just change the angle of this layer, it will also change the angle of the previous layer that we applied drop shadow on. So to fix this, I'm gonna just click on the previous layer and I'm gonna right click and convert to smart object. Cool. And in case you want to just change the drop shadow or anything like that, you can just double click, hit OK, and you can just change everything you want and just press Ctrl plus S to save it, and it will get updated here. So now I'm gonna just apply a drop shadow right there, and if I just change the angle, it doesn't affect this layer. That's cool. So let's see. Okay, let's see. Okay, that looks good. Cool. Okay, so I'm gonna select the background layer and I'm gonna create a new layer, and I'm gonna select a grayish color like that. I'm gonna press Alt plus backspace to fill it. Okay, cool. So if you see here, there's a nice grid texture right there. So link will be in description to the grid texture file, but for now I'm gonna just copy it. Cool. So I'm gonna just transform it a bit. Cool. And I want to change the blending mode to multiply. Cool. I'm gonna create a curves adjustment layer. I'm gonna click on this clipping mask layer and watch very carefully. I want to show you how to add the texture in the perfect way. So I'm gonna just bring it right there, and I'm gonna bring this right there. Cool. So right now you can't see any texture. I'm gonna just add a touch of textures like this. You can just experiment with the curve, but first create the horizontal line so that there is no texture. Okay, cool. And now I'm gonna just create another curves layer. I'm gonna just bring it down like so. That looks cool. Okay, so this is looking pretty dope and we are good on our way. Cool. So now I'm gonna just add a nice color, and I'm gonna choose photo filter effect, and I will go with a cooling filter. Just decrease the density a touch. That looks cool. Okay, and now I'm gonna add the logo for this certificate. You can use your own logo file, but I'm gonna use this thing. Well, if you wanna see how I created this graphic element, the link will be in the description, and I will also link it up in the I button, so make sure to check that out as well. Cool. So for now I'm gonna just copy it. Cool. So there we go. Okay, so I will grab my text tool, and I'm going to use a Cinzel font for this, add the regular, and I'm going to choose white color. I'm going to type in, okay, I'm going to just copy the text. I'm going to double click and copy it, just paste it in here. Cool. I'm gonna just place it in the center. Looks dope. And I'm gonna choose the second text as well. By the way, the link for the font will be in the description as well. Make sure to check that out. Cool. I'm gonna center it as well. By the way, if you're wondering how I created this spacing in the text, what I did was I just double click in here and went to this tab, and I'm gonna just increase or decrease it so that it creates nice spacing in between the text. So cool. Okay, so with this our design is complete. I want to just add some curves to pop it up a bit. Okay, that looks pretty interesting, right? Decrease the fill a bit. Okay, one more thing I forgot to tell you is that how to add the shadow effect in the text. So it's pretty much the same thing, just go to effects and drop shadow. Okay, I'm gonna just increase the distance a touch and the size like so. Decrease the opacity, I guess, and change the angle. Cool. I want to just right click and copy layer style. I'm gonna paste it in here, paste layer style, and that's it. You can apply some overall color correction. I'm going to choose a photo filter effect like so. Decrease the opacity, touch. Okay, so this looks pretty dope, right? And it's the same as the original example. Cool. So this was it, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to my channel, hit the bell notification icon so that you never miss a future update. Also, if you enjoyed this tutorial or learned something new today, please make sure to give me a thumbs up, and if you have any query or feedback to give, the comment section is all yours. So this was it, and I will see you in the next video. Till then, peace.